Hey guys, today's story is about a DM that left before the session even began. This happened about 6 months ago. I saw a post on RLFG about newbies looking for a DM, and as I usually love teaching people about the game I love, I messaged the poster and expressed interest, and they seemed rather happy that they found someone to DM their group. I was invited into their Discord server, and we had a little get-together to get to know each other. And they seemed very nice at first. And we talked about my experience as a DM, and theirs as players. All of them only played one session before, because apparently the DM they had, just before, ghosted them immediately afterwards. And when I asked them about what had happened, or if he was a little bit weird while holding the session, the cleric and the fighter immediately started badmouthing the other DM. They explained how he was stingy and didn't let them have fun, and that his overall DMing style was very bad. And when I asked for further details, they said that he didn't let them pick the classes and races that they wanted, and also had a very boring presentation style. This was a red flag for me, but I was ready to give them the benefit of the doubt. Bad DMs are a thing after all, and maybe he wasn't patient enough for the newbie group. And after some more talk about different things, I started to tell them that I would like to run a heavily modified version of Princes of the Apocalypse, and that it would be a little bit more railroady in the beginning, but would open up further down the line and would become more sandbox style. They seemed fine with it, and we began character creation. We ended up having a rogue, a fighter, a cleric, a warlock, and a ranger. And everybody seemed happy, and I was too. And we decided to set the date for the first session for a week later. They were very active in their server, and I saw that they were all very into Critical Role. Which isn't a bad thing, but I knew I had to manage expectations. And when the first session rolled around, I said, "Guys, I've seen over the week that you're all very into Critical Role. I just want to say that I don't watch it and..."
"Oh, you should. It's the absolute best show."
"Yeah, you should." "Yeah, maybe someday." So anyway, I just want to say that you guys need to understand that Critical Role is a show, and not like the real thing. I'll try my best to make it as entertaining as possible, but I'm not Matt Mercer.
"We don't expect you to be. I, for one, just want to have fun."
"Sure, I just want it to be fair and don't want you all to have unrealistic expectations." And after this, the cleric mumbled something under their breath, and I can't remember what.
"What the hell? Can you stop that crap? You always do that. How about you just shut up?"
And after this, a 2-minute streaming match started. Yo guys, what the heck is going on?
"Just start the goddamn game already. It's nothing."
No, I won't start the game when 2 of my players are screaming at each other over something that seems to have to do with the game. So what's happening here? After this, the cleric, and then the fighter disconnected from the voice chat. The other 3 then explained to me that I was not in fact their second, but 4th DM that they had found for this group. And every time they had a new one, the cleric and the fighter would criticize them for everything, always comparing them to Matt Mercer multiple times and demanding that the GM gives them an experience like Critical Role. They had a talk this time around without me, but the cleric seemed to not care, and started her usual spiel again. I thanked them for the info, and told them that I unfortunately was not ready to deal with that kind of drama, even if the cleric and the fighter didn't come back, as the damage was done. I didn't feel comfortable with this group anymore, so I apologized, and wished them good luck on finding a suitable DM. Hey there! Do you like world building? And would love to use something like World Anvil, Campfire Blaze, or Legend Keeper to help organize your notes, but you're poor? Well, boy howdy do I have the thing for you. Introducing Fantasia Archive. It's a free alternative that can be downloaded and doesn't have any hidden fees or hooks. The notes that you make for characters have two-way relationships with one another. So, say if you put in that Frodo Baggins' uncle is Bilbo, it will automatically put in a family relation on Bilbo's page. FA also has hierarchical documents, so if you need a parent ideology or political groups with all of its relatives and branches, you can have that. such as the Democratic and Republican parties of Florida. And there's plenty of areas that you can fill in with information to get as detailed as you want to be. So for example here, I have Frodo Baggins, whose residence is in the Shire, and I can add any number of things, such as local currencies accepted at the Shire, areas relating to it, which I don't have any marked here, its estimated population, its size, a detailed description of its history, traditions, customs, and people, etc. And something else before I forget, because this isn't a browser, it's harder to accidentally delete your progress as opposed to something such as World Anvil. There's numerous safeguards against accidental deletion, and you can even export hard copies so you can be even safer. And lastly, one of the most important things to state about this program is it's still in early development. Many features have yet to be added, and it's still very much a work in progress. But if you're interested, I'm going to leave a link in the description, so make sure you check it out. Well guys, I might have a little bit of an unpopular opinion, but I really do think that Critical Role has potentially done more damage to the D&D community than has helped it. It is a great thing that Critical Role has brought so many new people into the game, but with so many of those new people, a lot of them are having unrealistic expectations, or are bringing drama when there needs to not be any. In a very short amount of time in relatively recent history, we've seen D&D go from a fairly niche thing into a massively popular thing. Something that these new players or potential players need to keep into account is that Critical Role is a show. And I have never watched it personally and probably never will, but with it being a show, a lot of it is probably thought of beforehand, and they very well might even practice a little bit of what might happen beforehand as well. So what you see and what might actually happen at your own table are going to be massively different. But in any case guys, that's the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, maybe think about subscribing and staying tuned for future videos. But, as always, have a good one.